On the left, the team card hoarder captain there, 11-1, 3-0 today. Thomas Watson, also 11-1. Now, this less popular version, the kind with bump in the night, when the format is a quarter Jund and Jeskai, I feel like Thomas is on to something by playing this build.
A little main deck counterplay to core Firewalker.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want... He has to give up Wild Nacatl, but maybe that's just fine. Chris Andersen on the play will start with an Inquisition of Kozilek. Watson is on a 6-card hand, and Inquisition is one of the best cards against Burn.
Yeah, Inquisition is significantly better than Thoughtseize in this matchup. Hits everything at the cost of no life. One thing about this build, Bump at the Night over Wild Nacatl, you're expecting a lot of lightning bolts right now, so you can't lightning bolt a burn spell.
Hey, all the cards are the same. Rift Bolt, Lava Spike, Bump in the Night. He takes Rift Bolt as the card selected by Chris Andersen. And then Grim Lavamancer and 2 lands. So Lavamancer represents the most damage. It's the only one that can do more than 3, but Chris isn't taking it.
There's just no way that Chris is not killing that Lavamancer on sight. Looks like he has a lightning bolt at the ready.
So we go over to Thomas Watson. Starts by fetching for Blood Crypt down to 17.
And for Chris, winning the die roll, definitely big in this matchup. The Burn player mulliganing to 6. That's going to help him a lot, and his hand looks to be quite good on top of both of these factors.
Watson with Grim Lavamancer. Let's see if that bolt happens. It does. Chris plays Raging Ravine. And you know, here's what I love about Chris's start. Blackcleave Cliffs, Inquisition of Kozilek, Raging Ravine, no damage from any of his own cards.
Pain-free mana base. This is modern. There's no price of progress to punish that start.
Eidolon of the Great Revel from Thomas Watson. Chris will take his first damage. He casts Scavenging Ooze, but I feel like that's a pretty good one for Chris as well.
Yep, already one creature in the graveyard to start gaining life. It would be really bad if Watson were to peel a Searing Blaze here. 4 copies in the main deck.
Thomas plays land number 3. Now going to go to work. Chris left Thomas with Bump of the Night and Lava Spike. Great cards, but none of which can remove the Scavenging Ooze.
Yeah, and with these burn spells just going upstairs, that Eidolon is going to be costing Watson.
Yeah, his first play is going to be Bump in the Night. He wants to ditch these cards before Chris draws another Inquisition or a Liliana. So 3 damage to Chris, 2 damage to Watson.
Worst case scenario for Watson is if a Chris untaps, has an untapped land, and cast Kalitas. No damage off of the Eidolon and a 4 toughness lifelinker.
So Thomas played Bump in the Night, but hung on to Lava Spike there. He wants to leave up the red mana.
He's up to something.
Here comes Scavenging Ooze. Chris will follow with Kalitas, the 3/4 lifelinker. Chris still just taking no damage off his lands. He fetched for an Overgrown Tomb tapped, so I guess he's taken 1. But now he presents a great threat in a lifelinker, and it costs 4. It didn't even trigger Eidolon.
Yeah, everything's coming up Millhouse. Just really, if you look at every exchange in this game has been slightly favorable for Chris Andersen. There's no worst case scenarios on any of these exchanges and multiple best case scenarios.
Thomas Watson fetches for a Sacred Foundry, now has his white mana. He does play for Boros Charm. See Lava Spike in hand. Another Lava Spike in hand, and a Skullcrack look to be his 3 cards. So here's his first spike. But these are all, yeah, 2 to Watson, 3 to Chris. Okay.
Yep.
That's what we do. Chris goes to 11, Thomas goes to 10.
He's losing the race just in terms of sheer damage output. It's not
Right.
even factoring in the lifelink on Kalitas.
Swing from Ooze and Kalitas. That's a swing for 5. Now Thomas does have a Skullcrack to stop that life gain. And he's going to have to play it here. So Skullcrack. Thomas takes 2, goes to 8 off the Skullcrack. Chris will go to
I would expect an activation of the Ooze in response.
Okay. And he's going to do it. You're right. Exiles the Grim Lavamancer. So Scavenging Ooze will become a 3/3, and Chris will go to 12. So Chris is going to go down to 9. But if Thomas lets this damage through, he'll be at 2 with an Eidolon.
Not a great position.
Thomas goes to, it looks like 4, was it? Yeah, he takes, yeah, and that's not going to be enough. Game 1 to Chris Andersen. So John taking game 1 from Byrne, a feather in his cap there as now he gets to sideboard.
Yep, things are going to get quite a bit better post sideboard here. And yeah, Byrne really wants to win game 1 in this matchup. Minimally, winning the die roll would have been a huge win. That would have changed the texture of the game. But Chris just kind of had all the things that he needed to go right, and that game really wasn't even particularly close. Chris Andersen just made short work of Watson.
All right, well, for Chris Andersen, the captain here of Team Card Hoarder, formerly Team Lotus, if you're familiar as well, some personnel switches, but one of the newer players on newer teams here on the Pro Tour, or on the SCG Tour, apologies, and one of the strongest teams, really.
Yes.
7 players here. For him, the player from Bloomington, Indiana, or Indianapolis, now in Bloomington, 18 open top 8s. The 26-year-old has an open win and an invitational top 8 to his name as well. He started playing Magic at age 4, so been in this a long time. And one of the things I really like about Chris as a player, not only is he concerned with his own play, but he is one of the biggest mentors here on the tour.
Yep, the honorary oldest Kiefer kid definitely has taken them under his wings.
Yeah, all 3 of the Kiefer kids on Team Card Hoarder Academy.
Yep.
And 9-time Hearthstone legend, so expands his domain into other collectible card games as well. One more win, and he should get that 19th open top 8. That is a huge number.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, we're going to look at the sideboards then. So for Chris Andersen and his Jund deck, things almost always get better out of sideboard. 3 Fulminator Mages, 2 Kitchen Finks, 2 Graph Digger's Cages, and then a whole host of different 1-0s. What do we like here?
Big hits here, 2 Kitchen Finks. This is among the best cards against Byrne in Modern. As far as cards that are just good on their own, that also just wreck Byrne, this is the card. The Copy of Duress, another pain-free discard spell, especially against this creature light version. Duress is just going to pick apart most hands, and then Disfigure will kill any creature that Watson is casting.
Yeah, and how good was that Inquisition of Kozilek? Just game 1, nabbing a pain-free nabbing a burn spell from Thomas.
Yeah, off of a Blackleaf Cliff, so is just gain 3 life.
All right, Thomas Watson's sideboard got a Rending Volley, 3 Ensnaring Bridges, 2 Path to Exiles, 2 Stony Silence, a Dragon's Claw, a Graph Digger's Cage, a Skullcrack, a Core Firewalker, and 2 Wear Tear.
This is a lot of nonsense. Maybe Path to Exile. I don't even like that. I think you just want to kill Jund as fast as possible.
All right, Chris is going to be at least on a 6-card hand. And if you are interested in Modern and watching Modern this weekend, head on over to StarCityGames.com. We have our weekly sale. That's been going on all summer. Different thing on sale every week, and it is 15% off select Modern singles this weekend. So Tarmogoyf, Dark Confidant, Abrupt Decay, you see them on your screen. It's like we want you to play Jund right now or something. To be fair, many different Modern cards on sale. Now remember, that sale ends Monday morning, so head over today. New sale every week over on StarCityGames.com.
When you break down decks in Modern, there's a lot of overlap between Jund and many of the other
Jund decks.
Strong Jund, other Jund, White Jund.
White Abzan was now honorarily named White Jund. Chris has kept on 6. So we are underway. Game 2, Thomas Watson, Sacred Foundry into Monastery Swift Spear. And Chris Andersen, once again, not taking damage for his lands, starts just on a tapped Blood Crypt.
Yeah, unfortunately not casting any spells. Swift Spear, about the best turn 1 play for Watson.
And see just how good Watson's hand is here. Bloodstained Mire fetches up 2nd land. That's going to be a Blood Crypt. Mana is now set.
I guess turn 1 Goblin Guide is better. Starting on turn 2, the Swift Spear represents more damage from that point.
Bump in the night. Chris down to 16. Swift Spear prowesses. Lightning Bolt. Chris down to 13. Swift Spear prowesses. Chris down to 10. Turn 2.
Not even going to try to play to the table this time.
Yeah, I love using the Lightning Bolt as early as turn 2. I love it.
Let's not pretend that anything else is happening this game.
So Chris, another tapped land as we go back to Watson. And he's drawn Goblin Guide. These creatures have a very short lifespan in this match.
Yep. The Swift Spear has already done its job.
Right.
It's been a 4-point burn spell.
So here's Goblin Guide. Thomas has more. All right. Fetches with Arid Mesa.
I believe he has Boros Charm in hand. That maybe just be in main phase to trigger the prowess.
Yeah,
definitely not worth trying to use the indestructible mode.
Looks like Searing Blaze is the last card. So he'll Boros Charm Chris down to 6. This will put Chris to 2. Trigger, Tarmogoyf. All right.
Does Chris have a Lightning Bolt? Nope.
No. All right. That one's quick and easy. On to game 3.
Yep. Chris on the play this time with his improved sideboard configuration. This is going to be very close. I think the margins in this matchup, it's a Jund deck versus a different deck, right? Pretty close to about 50-50. He has the best potential cards, though the range is wide enough where Burn can win a significant number of these games. Specifically, things go like game 1, things are certainly going to go Cran's way, though if Watson's able to keep a strong 7-card hand, and if his spells just line up good against what Chris is trying to do, say Chris is on Lightning Bolts, Watson's on all Burn spells, or Chris is on Duress Inquisition and Watson is able to get some creatures in under that, this could really easily go for the Burn player.
Looking for highlights from the weekend. Strategy articles from exclusive SCG writers and players on the tour. We have the Star City Games newsletter. Comes out every month. That one's free to sign up for. We're going to go right to the match here, though. Chris Andersen and Thomas Watson, game 3. Chris this time on the play starts again on Black Cleave Cliffs. He's taken next to no damage from his lands all match.
Smells like a lightning bolt.
Here's Goblin Guide. Does Chris draw a card? No, but he does bolt away the Goblin Guide, so stays at 20 as we start turn 2.
This is reminiscent of game 1 so far.
Land and pass. So Swamp and Black Cleave Cliffs. No green mana yet for Chris. Thomas will shock for Sacred Foundry. I love that Chris is giving him no free damage, making him work for all of it. Now Burn, if you don't interact with them, is a pretty good bet to beat you on turn 4. And we saw that in play game 2.
Yep. You just have to get a combination of 7 spells all doing 3 damage. What we have seen happen, though, the Goblin Guy did not do his job. It connected for 0 damage, and Chris played an untapped land for free. So he's at a little bit of a deficit on that front.
A Blood Crypt from Chris, and he passes. Thomas end step Boros Charms Chris. And now he plays Swiftsphere on his 3rd turn. What's interesting is that I believe both players know the top card of Chris's deck from that Goblin Guide was a Disfigure, and that Chris has drawn it.
Yep.
So we get to have this game of cat and mouse, of Swiftsphere, Disfigure.
Or how about Lightning Bolt?
Oh, okay. Well, that one's going to be tougher for Thomas to prowess through. He'd need, what, a pair of Lightning Bolts?
He has a Boros Charm in hand. If he was feeling particularly feisty, he could make it indestructible, though there's no way that's the play. I believe he's leaving up Skullcrack as well, so he can stop something like a Kitchen Finks from gaining life for Chris here.
Big draw here from Chris. He did not have the green mana source, but now draws it for the turn and fetches for basic forest. So staying at a healthy 14, Chris has made his way to 4 mana, and now he's going to look to turn the corner. Here's Kalidas.
Thud.
The 3/4 lifelink.
Watson does have Skullcrack yet. So Chris has to get away around that. Depends what the damage output is for Watson on the next turn.
Watson has a Boros Charm in hand, and there is a 2nd Sacred Foundry in his deck if he wanted to cast it. So Watson, hold on here. He played Monastery Swiftspear off that Sacred Foundry last turn.
He can't fetch for Godless Shrine here, and if he fetches for Foundry, he's
wow.
off of black mana.
That's tough. Some missed damage. I mean, the card's still in his hand, so it's not missed damage, but he may wish that he had played that a bit differently.
Right.
Eidolon of the Great Revel from Thomas is his only play, so we go back to Chris Andersen. He attacks with Kalidas, the 3/4.
With 2 fetch lands up, if Watson wants to Skullcrack this, is going to cost him some life.
Watson blocks with Eidolon of the Great Revel. Chris will gain 3. Eidolon should be exiled, please. Interestingly enough, you can miss the trigger on making a zombie, but I don't believe you can miss exiling the Eidolon. So there's an interaction missed here. They're going to exile the Eidolon. I don't know if they'll give Chris the zombie.
That is curious. Though, with the lifelink connecting this turn, I think the damage is done from that combat.
Actually, it's all a replacement ability. We're going to correct here. I'm not positive that Chris can miss this.
Yep.
I think the judge actually has to stop and say, no, Chris, you get a zombie.
And once you exile, yeah, there's just a continuous line of text.
Right.
So.
If it was 2 pieces, then maybe. But yeah, so the judge backs it up, exiles the Eidolon, and Chris is given a zombie. You just can't miss that one.
Nope.
And Chris went up to 17 on that hit.
Chris packing some Fulminator Mage. There's some corner cases when you can catch the burn deck off of its colors. It does splash for black and white.
Thomas Watson. Now he fetches for the other Sacred Foundry, goes down to 14. And here's Searing Blaze to finish off the Kalitas. So that's going to show you why Thomas was willing to block there.
Well, the question is, can he come back from that 3 points of lifelink?
Fulminator Mage was boarded in. That was the other creature here for Chris. And now he'll play another 3/4. Boros Charm sends Chris down to 10. Thomas is going to have to untap and just put Chris to 0 here. He's got 2 cards in hand and 1 on the draw, so it's possible. And actually, Chris, aware of that, is going to Fulminator Mage away the Sacred Foundry.
Yep, choke him on mana here.
Right, because what he would need, Boros Charm, Bolt, and on 3 mana, you just can't do that.
Right.
Blood Crypt's the play from Watson. He didn't have the kill anyways. Now Chris is going to look to connect with lifelink again. He'll play another Fulminator Mage. He's going to Fulminator Mage away Thomas's other white source, and now he swings. Does he gain the life? It's for 5. He does. Watson to 5. Chris Andersen up to 13, and the life total is pulling out of range for the burn player.
Yeah, that connection just has to be game over.
Searing Blaze on the zombie token. Chris has 3 mana up. He's deciding if he wants to sacrifice or not. Keep in mind with Searing Blaze, Chris still takes the damage.
Right. May as well sacrifice to make your lifelinker larger, but won't be able to save life on that specific interaction.
Yeah, it means he'll still have a lethal attack next turn. So Chris is going to fetch twice. Does he have basics for this? Stomping Ground puts him to 7. And Swamp puts him to... So it stays at 7, and the Kalitas gets 2 counters from the zombie. And Thomas, no way to remove it. 5 damage is going to be lethal, and that is the game, the match, and a top 8 berth for Chris Andersen.
Really impressive stuff. Yeah, Chris had everything that he needed to happen go his way. He was not fuddling around with paying a bunch of life for his land, so he's able to just cast his spells pretty efficiently on curve. The turn 4 Kalitas, very powerful when that shows up on time in this burn matchup.
Yeah, lifelink great here.
Yeah, game 2, his mana didn't cooperate, and we saw him get run over, which is kind of what happens in those games. So yeah, I imagine this matchup generally is going to be a 2-1, and for Chris Andersen, a favorable one and a top 8 berth. Really good stuff.